Hey guys, welcome back to Meghan Grace DIY, where I show you lots of fun sewing tutorials and some basic techniques. I also like to include some basic sewing, pattern making, drafting education with a little sprinkling of my cats on top. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple barbecue apron, and I'm also going to show you how to draft the pattern. For the supplies, I bought 1 yard of a cotton print of my choice. You can also use canvas. I had the matching thread and the pins, and then I also had 2 pieces of a grocery store ad that I taped together to be long enough to draft my pattern. If you don't already have one of these, this is a clear quilting ruler. I cannot emphasize enough how many times I've used this tool. I've actually had that specific ruler since college. My quilting ruler is 18 inches long by 5 inches wide, but I know they come in several sizes. The line of the paper that's closest to the camera or closest to me is going to be our center front line. I just marked 12 inches from the top. I'm going to go to the 12-inch mark and mark another 12 inches down, so 12 and then 24. After the 24 inches, I'm going to mark another 8 inches down, making the entire length of the apron center front 32 inches. Next, let's mark the width of the top. The top line of the apron will be 6 inches wide. Then find that 12 inches down mark that you made before. Line up your ruler perpendicularly to the 12-inch mark and mark another 12 inches out. Then take your ruler and move it down to the 24-inch mark and mark 12 inches away from that. You're creating your points to match up for the side seam. At 32 inches, mark the 12 inches again. Then take your ruler, line up all 3 marks that you just made and draw a straight line between them. This line that you just drew, or the side length of the apron, should come out to 20 inches long. And now I'm going to draw a 12-inch line at the bottom for the bottom of the apron. All of the lines that we're drawing right now include seam allowance, so you don't have to worry about adding that on later. Last part of our pattern will be the armhole. This you'll need to kind of sketch out on your own. I'm going to do this by dashing a couple lines down from the top of the apron and dashing a couple lines in from the side seam of the apron, and then matching them up with a curve. Then I'm going to sketch the lines together. Don't stress if this part isn't perfect. Any type of curve that goes from the top of the apron to the side seam of the apron will work just fine. And here's our finalized pattern. 6 inches across the top, we've got our arm curve, 20 at the side seam, and 12 at the bottom. Now let's cut it out. Great, now we've got a finished apron pattern. Keep in mind that I made this pattern with the average person in mind, and you may need to shorten it or lengthen it given the person you're making it for. I bought 1 yard of cotton in the print of my choice, and this fabric is 44 inches wide. I'm lining my pattern up flush with the end of the fabric on the left and with the center front folded seam, so that way our pattern will unfold and reveal both sides of the apron. My first goal is to cut out the entire front of the apron, and then I'm going to show you how to cut the straps and the pocket from whatever scraps are left over. Using 1 yard of fabric is perfect for this project because you'll have just enough for all the other things needed for the apron, and you'll have a little fabric left over to make a mask that matches if you'd like. Now remember how the length of our apron was 32 inches and 1 yard is 36 inches? Well, that's going to give us a perfect amount of fabric at the end to cut the 2 straps that'll tie in the back of the apron. Our straps are going to be 2 inches wide and 36 inches long. In a perfect world, we should have 4 inches left at the bottom after cutting out the main body of the apron. But as you can see here, my fabric was cut just a little bit uneven. Since we don't need the entire 44 inches width, we're going to go ahead and cut off a little bit of the extra part that's uneven. With the pins I just put in, I marked a straight line continuing up from the bottom of the apron to cut this fabric off from the rest of the scraps. I picked chili peppers for this project because for some reason in my head, people who like to barbecue also like hot sauce, and I really love hot sauce, so I thought it was kind of appropriate. If you have a favorite hot sauce that you think I should try, definitely put it in the comment section below. I'm taking the scrap piece and I'm going to fold it in half again, so now it's 4 layers thick. Using my ruler, I'm going to measure from the end that's closest to me up 2 inches for my first strap. And once you're done measuring, you can go ahead and cut down that 2-inch line. I'm going to use the strip that I just cut as a guide and put it on top of the other piece of fabric to cut off any of the extra. And once both pieces are cut, I'm going to measure out the first one to 36 inches long. When measuring that second strip, that's where I noticed I had a bit of unevenness on the ends of where the fabric was cut when it was cut to be sold to me. So I cut off the first 3 inches and the last 3 inches, knowing that those were slightly under 2 inches wide. And then I measured my 36 to make sure I have enough for a full strap. Now I'm taking another piece of scrap fabric and I'm folding it in half to make our pocket. Our pocket will be 9 inches wide folded and 10 inches long. So in the end, 10 inches by 18 inches. When I'm cutting down the piece of fabric into the size I need, I like to fold it in half to make sure I'm staying straight the entire length of my cut. The scrap piece of fabric I had was actually 10 inches wide, so I'm just trimming it down by an inch. But again, since I'm making this apron for a basically average sized person, please feel free to adjust the measurements as you see fit. And sorry Rosie was being a particular nudge during filming this video. I was cooking my lunch at the same time and she definitely wanted to get some. And here's our finished pocket piece, 18 inches wide by 10 inches tall. Lastly, we're going to need a neck strap. I'm going to measure out 22 inches long by 2 inches wide. I'm not going to cover it in this video to keep things simple, but you could also put in an adjustable strap here, so that way the person wearing it can adjust the neck as needed. I plan on making an additional video on how to make straps in my Back to Basics series, but basically anytime you're making a strap or a tie, you want to decide how wide you want it and then times that by 4. So our ties are going to be 1/2 inch wide, times that by 4, and we need to cut a 2-inch wide piece of fabric. Before we start sewing, we're going to do some prep work over at the ironing board. Right now we're looking at the pocket piece. I'm taking the top and I'm folding it down twice to create a rolled hem. Then I'm taking the sides and pressing them in about 1/2 inch, and then I'm doing the same thing to the bottom. I know if you've been sewing a long time, you can usually skip this step and just bring the pieces over to the sewing machine and sew them, rolling it with your hands. But even I have to remind myself sometimes that if I take the time to prep the piece with the iron, it's going to come out more professional looking in the end. Moving right along to our straps, like I mentioned before, our strap is going to be 4 times as wide as we want it to be in the end. So we're going to start by folding it in half and pressing it. Then we open the strap up and take each side and fold it in just short of 1/2 inch, so it doesn't quite reach that center fold line, and press that in place as well. You're going to repeat this pressing step for all 3 straps we're using on the apron. Moving right along to the body of the apron, we are going to complete something called a rolled hem around the entire outside of the apron. That means in terms of iron prep, we're going to fold it over once and fold it over again and press it in place. If you've never completed a rolled hem before, I'm also doing a Back to Basics strictly focusing on a rolled hem, since it's a technique that gets used very often. When completing the rolled hem on the curves, such as where the armhole goes, you're going to press it over only 1/4 inch each time. It's going to get a little bit tricky around the depth of the curve. But if you just ease it and keep that roll small, it should be pretty easy for you. As you can see here, I'm rolling that deepest part of the curve and easing it into the top part of the curve. I'm doing this to make sure I don't have any kind of weird folds or bubbles in my curve. And when I go to sew it, it'll be nice and small. You're going to finish that rolled hem pressing around the entirety of the apron. Like I said before, we could probably just roll the hem at the sewing machine, but it really does improve the quality of your piece if you take the time to press it beforehand. And finally, with all that pressing done, we get to move on to the sewing machine. Starting with the main piece of the apron, I'm going to stitch down all those rolled hems that I just took the time to press in place with the iron. Your stitch line should be right up against the fold of the rolled hem, as you can see here. And your thread color choice is really up to you. If you've watched a bunch of my videos, you'll notice that I tend to use a contrasting thread color. One, because I just like the way it looks, and two, it's much easier for you guys to be able to see the steps that I'm doing versus using black on black. I would have liked even a bit of a punchier red for this project, but I had to use the red that I had in stock. Once we get to the curve of the armholes, please take your time. Even I, with 26 years of experience, slow down and make sure I sew this stitch nice and evenly and nice and close to the edge of the fold. Trust me, in the end, you'll be much happier with a project that you took your time on and it came out really beautiful versus a project that you rushed. And just as a reference, I'm going to show you sewing the other curve with the speed not altered in any way. Most of the time I speed up the sewing portions since they do take a long time in real time, and most people don't want to sit through all of that just regular stitching. So you can see here in real time how I took my time and I made sure my stitches were close to the edge and nice and even. Here's what that curved rolled hem should look like in the end. Very nice and even and crisp, and it looks nice and even from the other side. Mwah! I love a beautiful rolled hem. Once the rolled hems of the apron are finished, we're going to move on to the pocket and the straps. Seen here, I'm sewing down the rolled hem that goes across the top of the pocket piece. To stitch the straps closed, you're going to sew at the edge where the two folds are open, essentially closing the strap. Here's sewing the strap from another angle. You're essentially sewing about 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch away from the edge. And here's the strap completed. I sewed at a 3 stitch length, but I think anywhere between a 2 and a 3 would be acceptable. Here I'm going to pin the pocket in place to the body of the apron. I've got my rolled hem of my pocket open at the top. I apologize that this step might be a little bit tricky to see, since I used the same pattern for the pocket as I did for the apron. If you wanted to make a nice contrast, you could have used black, red, or green for the pocket on this print. The pocket is placed 2.5 inches down from the armhole and 2 3/4 inches from the side, and that should put it square in the middle of your apron. Starting at the upper right-hand corner of the apron, you're going to stitch right along the fold line that we've created by pressing a 1/2 inch of the pocket underneath. Once you've finished sewing the side of the pocket, you're going to sink your needle down and rotate your apron 90 degrees and prepare to sew across the bottom of the pocket. And when you get to the other corner, you're going to go ahead and repeat the steps by sinking the needle and turning the apron 45 degrees. And just a little pro tip here, I like to backstitch 2 or 3 times at the top of the pocket since I know the pocket might take some stress from some grilling tools. We're almost at the end. Next, we're going to attach our straps. Right now you're looking at the top right-hand corner of my apron, and I'm attaching the neck strap. I'm folding the strap under about 3/8 of an inch and hiding the rough edge in between the strap and the actual apron fabric. Once we're at the machine, we're going to actually sew a box around the end of the strap that's being attached to the apron, so that sinking the needle and turning technique, we're going to use that 3 or 4 times while sewing the strap on. And here's what the strap attachment looks like finished. Make sure to clip all your threads so it's as clean looking as possible. And if you don't want to do it this way, you could always just zigzag stitch the strap on. Repeat this step for the other 3 places where the straps are attached, the other part of the neck and on both of the sides. And we're finally moving on to our last step. You're almost there. You got this, guys. The final width of the pocket was 17 inches wide. So we're going to create 3 pockets out of the major pocket. The 2 on the sides are going to be 6 inches measured in, leaving the middle pocket at 5 inches wide. You can mark this with pins, like I'm doing, or you could use tracing paper or tailor chalk to mark the lines that we're going to stitch. Back at the machine, we're going to stitch those lines just as we marked with the pins. And remember, back stitch 2 or 3 times at the top of the pocket. And guess what? This is your final step and you are ready to grill in style. This is such a nice, simple project, and you can make it in any type of print or pattern, and it would make a great Father's Day present for those of you that will be celebrating on the Sunday coming up. If you've made it this far, I'd love for you to put in the comments what type of print or fabric you would use to make your own apron. And as always, I love to see pictures of finished products. So if you do make this project, please send me a picture at meghangracediy.gmail.com. So thanks again for stopping by Meghan Grace DIY. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it interesting and easy to follow. If you have any questions or tutorial requests, you can feel free to put those in the comment section below. And if you're not already a subscriber, why not help my channel grow by hitting that subscribe button? You can also check me out on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook at Meghan Grace DIY. And I recently opened a small Etsy shop under the same name. So please go enjoy doing this project, and as always, happy sewing!